Hey y'all, welcome back. Today we're checking out England Stereotypes. What makes the English so darn English?
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Wolters. Hey. We're in Stratford upon Avon. We have the Holy Trinity Church behind me, where the bard Shakespeare himself has been laid to rest. And today, I want to talk about Englishisms.
Hang on. Where are you? Stratford upon Avon. That's quite a name. Show me on a map. It's near Birmingham. Shakespeare's body is in the middle of the city. Beautiful, beautiful, very picturesque, very English. Yes, beautiful, beautiful. This is a good spot to do this video for him because it's very stereotypically English, it looks like. Very, very English. Look at that English bridge. It's so English. Look at this river. Look at this church. That's English. Look at this church. English. Look at this clock tower. Uber English. Look at this. That's kind of French. Look at this. English, English, English.
Himself has been laid to rest. And today, I want to talk about Englishisms. Englishisms, you ask?
Right.
Well, these are those little cultural things that you see here in England with the people that make you go, huh, yeah, that is totally an English thing. And I think I want to start with probably the shining a beacon of light that the English bring to the world. And that's their queue culture. You know, their line culture, like making a line, making the queue here in England is a thing. It doesn't matter where you are. You're at an event, you're at a store, you're at a museum, you're walking down the street. They do the queues extremely well, extremely efficiently. Like there's always a joke, oh, in heaven, the English organize everything. They are the ones that get it in order. Because it's true. And the thing is, you see that in how things work.
Why is that, I wonder?
The system is in place. Like people joke about it sometimes, but once it's in the system, stuff gets done. And you see that kind of line system permeating society. And it's kind of cool because, I know I'm never going to lose my place in line because the queue has put me in the right place. And so that's one thing I want to say. Thank you, England. Now, could have exported that all around the world too? Because that would have been awesome. But that is one thing I always notice, like just the queuing thing. Because that's one way you'll see, I don't know if you ever see an upset English person aside from football, but yeah. Queue skipping, queue things, yeah. Tourists, don't mess with that.
I have heard that one before. In America, people skip in line a lot. They'll do this thing where they see someone they know in line, they'll go up to them and they'll be like, oh, hey man, how's it going? I haven't seen you, blah, blah, blah. They'll start a conversation with them. But it's just a skip line. Why is that though? What's in the brain of an English person that makes them queue so well? Maybe the politeness thing. Nobody wants to be the jerk that skipped in line. I feel like in America, if you speak up, someone skips you in line and you speak up, then you're the uptight one. You're the one that is not normal. Like, what's the big deal? It's a big deal.
And another thing that is so English that you can't help but fall in love with it is a cuppa. Look, here having a cup of tea, honestly, it changes everything. You have bad news? Oh, I'll put the kettle on. You have good news? Oh, I'll put the kettle on. You have no news? I'll put the kettle on. It doesn't matter what it is. People love their tea here. Young, old, all in between. I mean, it's just one of those things you end up enjoying. When you sit there and you have that cup of tea. I'm a Yorkshire tea person myself. Put that cream in there, a couple of sugars in there too, and you're sitting back and relaxing, having your biscuit put in there, maybe dunking it, because that's how I do it. I know maybe you don't, but just enjoying the whole experience of having tea. Because it's not just a drink here in England. It's more of a mentality of, hey, just put a cup on, we'll be fine. A cup will make life better. And that's one thing I really like. And so when you're having a tough day, no matter where you are in the world, put on the kettle, have a cup of good English tea, and you'll be all right.
Yeah, I'm drinking tea right now. What is Yorkshire tea, though? Why does he like it better? Yorkshire tea. What is it? Is it a brand? Yorkshire tea is a black blend tea produced by Betty and Taylor's Group. Oh, okay. It's a brand. Can I get it in America? I can. Amazon.
And that kind of goes on to another thing that's very much an Englishism. I'm sure you've seen the t-shirts over the years and the posters. Keep calm and carry on. It is really much a thing here. Like when things don't go well, like every 4 years in the World Cup and every 4 years in the, European Cup, the English are always like, you know what? We're going to get through it. Doesn't matter if you're down, there's always next time. And they have that kind of mentality. And you see that when you hang out with them and you do things. People are very much, oh, it's bad weather, but you know what? We're going to keep on. Oh, it's raining again? Well, we're still going to walk the Cotswolds way. I'm going to do that 102 miles. We're going to do it. And I love that attitude of perseverance. And it's something that's very much an English thing. And some people think it's like one of those boring, dry kind of things. But no, honestly, it's one of those things you really respect about them. It's like, yes, things don't always go your way, but we're going to keep on. And you can respect that with the culture here.
Where does that come from? Doesn't it come from World War II? It's a motivational poster produced by the government of the United Kingdom in 1939 in preparation for World War II. This reminds me, I think in America we had a less successful version of this after 9/11. President Bush told people to go out shopping. Don't stop spending your money just because of terrorism. Which, okay, I mean, yeah. I don't think it really put people at ease. Maybe it did, though. When you buy something new, you get that little moment of happiness. Just keep buying stuff. The sensory life will beat you down. The material life will bleed you dry.
Another cultural thing here is the politeness. Like, there's nothing more English than saying sorry for something you didn't do.
Sorry.
Like, you can see some things they export. Like, when you go to Canada, we make the jokes. The Canadians always say sorry. I think that's definitely one of those things that got brought over when the English came to Canada. But when you hear all the cheers for doing something nice, the thank yous and the sorry, excuse me, let me get the door for you kind of stuff, like, yeah, that politeness is like, it's a legit thing here. Now, it's weird because when you see the young people, you don't see the politeness at all. But I think something happens around 22, 25-ish, that they kind of switch and become quite polite. Because the thing is that keep calm and carry on, that politeness kind of thing, that having a cup and getting through, really kind of, you see it because you don't really see an upset Englishman very often, do you? Well, maybe, again, after football, that's different.
No, I guess not.
But honestly, like, when you see an upset Englishman, they might be smiling. That's who need to be worried, okay?
Politeness. Yeah, I guess I did know about this one. I'm from the southeast United States, and there's a politeness thing going on there. This is totally off subject, but when I started studying acting, I studied Meisner technique. According to Meisner technique, the definition of acting is living truthfully under imaginary circumstances. So you really want to let your body believe that what is happening in a scene is really happening. And one of the guidelines for that to happen, truthfully, is to polite. And the idea is that you don't want to be preoccupied with hurting the other actor's feelings. The reason I bring that up is because I didn't even notice that I had that southeastern politeness thing going on, but I totally did. And I still do. But through the training of acting, I think it gave me more confidence to not worry about other people's feelings in a scene. Anyway, tell me more.
Well, another very English thing are the newspapers, the broadsheets. I'm never really sure all the differences out there because there's the normal newspaper kind of things. And then there's the ones that look like your crazy aunt who writes conspiracy theories on Facebook. She wrote the headline. So you're like, what the heck is going on? And you see them out there and you're like, what is this here? And people really get into it. And you get the debates and the chats about it. My goodness, listening to talk radio in England is like, it's next level. Like, next time you're driving around, turn off your iTunes or whatever, or your Spotify, and just put on the local radio, the local talk stuff, especially with sports. You'll hear some very interesting things, but the way they focus on the news and how it gets sensationalized is hilarious. It's like we do that kind of in the US too, but here it's like a different kind of thing, and it's kind of funny when you see those. So if you're at the store, just glance over at the newspapers over there and see, hey, what's the crazy headline for today? And if you go through, page 6 might be a little interesting as well.
I've heard about the Sun, and I think the tabloids there are on a whole other level. I just learned from an Evan Ettinger video that page 3 in the Sun used to have nudes in it. Oh, God. American idiots. Green Day blasted as irrelevant trash over Donald Trump mask stunt at show just weeks after ex-pres was shot in the head. What did they do with the mask? Y'all, I'm on Green Day's side with this. However you want to make fun of Donald Trump, do it. Green Day is facing an onslaught of boycott calls after their lead singer defiantly held up a Trump mask and changed the lyrics to a popular song just weeks after the former president was shot at. So what? He was shot at. He's fine. It nicked his ear. They're acting like he really got shot. It's not disrespectful. That guy. He held up a mask. What did he say? He changed the lyric to, I'm not a part of the MAGA agenda instead of the original redneck agenda. So what? MAGA. Okay. That's the first article I've ever read about this from the Sun, and it pissed me off. I can't imagine reading it every day. I hate the Sun.
Now, the next Englishism I want to talk about is the food. And it's not just the interesting names they have, whether it's toad in a hole or spotted dick, but it's also
Bubble and
how they
squeak.
eat things. Like, I love baked beans and I love toast,
baked beans.
but I never would have thought of beans on toast. And then you look at brown sauce, and I mean, don't get me wrong, brown sauce is actually pretty tasty. Like, once you have it, you're like, that's weird. Then you're like, that's interesting. Then, hey, can I get the brown sauce at breakfast, please? I mean, it grows on you. And that's one of the weird things about the food is we all joke about it. We talk about English food. Oh, it's so bad. Oh, remember, in heaven, you know, the English organize things, but in hell, the English are the cooks, right? Well, actually, you get actually good food here, which blows a lot of...
So in heaven, the English organize things like queues, and in hell, the English are the cooks. That's funny. Who came up with that? Oh, look at clotted cream. Oh, that looks good.
Hell, the English are the cooks, right? Well, actually,
I'd
you
eat
get
that.
actually good food here, which blows a lot of tourists' minds when they go and they see all the different food you can get around the country. But it is kind of funny how proud they are of their food and of all the little things that are there. But for me, it's just the kind of funny nature of the
English
names and
breakfast.
the kind of combination.
See, okay. Usually when I see an English breakfast on any of these videos, it's a gigantic plate with all this stuff that doesn't seem like it goes together. But this looks like a reasonable sized meal. And the beans are in their own bowl. They're not all over the other stuff. This is proper breakfast.
All the little things that are there. But for me, it's just the kind of funny nature of the names and the kind of combinations of things. And, you know, you can't go wrong with an English breakfast. A full English breakfast. Is it healthy? No. Is it low in calories? No. Should you eat every day? No. But do you want to have it every day on your vacation when you're here in England? Heck yeah.
Y'all, I've been to Britain one time, and I feel like it was a long time ago. It was when I was in college. It was through school. I never had an English breakfast. Why not? I was uninformed, grossly uninformed. I think I ate Italian food and Chinese. What the
Another funny Englishism you see when you travel the country is just their love affair with pre-packaged sandwiches. Now, don't get me wrong, everybody likes it.
I had one of those when I was there. I like a pre-made sandwich. There's something about them. All the ingredients kind of marinate together. It's good.
Just their love affair with pre-packaged sandwiches. Now, don't get me wrong, everybody likes a good sandwich. They make some good sandwiches here. You go to a pub and get like a bacon brie and, you know, cranberry sandwich. It's unbelievable. That toast, it's fantastic. But I'm talking about in the triangle container, already sliced, already made sandwiches, whether it's your Coronation chicken, which I actually think is pretty good, or your ham and cheese, or your tuna fish and corn. They seem to love these things. And everywhere
Tuna
you
fish
go,
and
and it's
corn.
lunchtime, people pile into the M&S, they pile into the Tesco. You're on a road trip, you hit the petrol station, and they just get these sandwiches. You're like, you could do so much better at a restaurant or someplace else, but they just love it. I don't know, it's one of those
I'm
English
down with
things.
that.
They just love their sandwich and get their snack with it and their drink, and that's my lunch. But yeah, they're just like, they got this thing for those pre-made sandwiches that are just odd.
I'm down with that. I know it's gross, but I like an egg salad sandwich, y'all. I'll get down on some egg salad.
They're everywhere. 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 Now, another English thing that we joke about is the anti-dentist movement here, you know, and that's one of those things where they ever make jokes about English people. It's like they got the big
Right.
teeth and it's all over the place. But I'll be honest with you, I've met people here before that were proud that they hadn't gone to the dentist in 20 years. And I'm like, really? Couldn't tell at all. And
Wow.
you'll see that you don't get as many people going to the dentist, it seems like, when you're here. Now, it's not as bad as it used to be. Things have gotten better. I mean, maybe NHS covers dentist stuff now, but it was one of those things you did notice that it was a very much an anti-dental movement here, it seemed like.
Yeah, I've heard that before, but I also see British people with perfect teeth, so I don't know what that's about. It's a generational thing. I also see a lot of Americans with really f***ed up teeth. What's up with that, y'all? Go to the dentist. Get some braces. Invisalign.
The one thing you get reminded every couple years is the truly 100% optimism that the English have that it's coming home, it's coming home. Oh my gosh. Every time I've been here the last, I don't know, decade or so, every time it's a European Cup or a World Cup, they start singing that song. And they're so hot, like, yes, it's really going to happen this time. And they've done well. Don't get me wrong. Semifinals, I wish my team could do that, right? But the thing is that totally Englishness of, yes, we're going to do it. Yes, we're going to do it. Even though they know in the end it's not going to happen. But you remember, keep calm and carry on. So when it goes down, they're like, oh, it's okay, we'll get him next time. And then you start listening to the broadsheets and the news radio and how it was this thing's fault and this thing's, if this would have happened this other way, oh, if only so-and-so would have been the captain, if only so-and-so would have done this, you know, and you start to hear these things and you're like, that is one thing I love about the English. No matter what happens, they always think every 2 years it's coming home.
I just learned about that song from another video. The Euro 2024 just happened a couple of weeks ago. It did not come home. It stayed abroad. It was sad. But I love the attitude. And the manager quit. See? Keep calm and carry on. Next time it's coming home, because that guy quit. But he's right. All the commentators I heard were saying, like, if what's-his-name was not the manager, if what's-his-name was not the manager, what was his name? Southgate. If Southgate was not the manager, it will be coming home. Coming home. I mean no offense with my bad British accent. It's just fun to talk like that. Coming home. It's coming home.
All right, so what are some of the funny English things you've noticed or Englishisms you've seen over your trips here in England? Let us know in the comments below so we can have other travelers look for fun cultural things when they come here, because honestly, it's a fun place to be. I mean, you got historic places, you got nice people, you do get some good food. The tikka masala is fantastic, national dish. Did you know that?
I love tikka masala.
It made it here in England. So,
Chicken.
I wish y'all the best, have a great time, and I'll say bye from here in Stratford, England. And yes, Shakespeare, he's right there. You want to go see him? You can.
You can look at his body? What? No. Shakespeare's dead body. How do they know it's him? I thought people thought maybe he was several different people. Wait, what? What happened to Shakespeare's? Oh, look at that. Is that it? The jaw is so small. That can't be it. An examination of William Shakespeare's grave in 2016 suggested that the body is missing its head and that Shakespeare's skull may have been removed by trophy hunters 200 years ago. But a new investigation on the 400th anniversary of his death, I guess they dug him up. No name of the family members buried side by side. William Shakespeare's ledger stone is the only one that doesn't carry a name. Okay, so you can't look at him. You can look at his death mask. Kind of looks like Guy Fawkes. Great cheekbones, strong mustache. He looks like an actor. Why do they call him the Bard? The term Bard originally meant a friend who likes writing poems. I hope he enjoyed writing poems, because he wrote a bunch of them. Maybe he's just trying to impress his father. This guy has a great channel. It's called Wolter's World, but I don't think his name is Wolter. I think it's Mark or something.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Wolters World, and today we're in
Mark. Anyway, great video. Thank y'all for watching this with me, and I'll see you next time. Later.